Imagine a world where your words hold the power to heal or hurt, to create peace or chaos. In today's story, we will explore the profound impact of silence through a timeless Buddhist and Zen tale. Stay with us until the end, where I'll share a bonus tip on how to incorporate this powerful practice into your daily life. In the serene teachings of Buddha, he often emphasized the power of words. Our tongue, though small, can be as sharp as the sharpest knife, and our words, though invisible, can be the most dangerous weapon. They don't cause physical harm, but they can deeply wound someone emotionally. Words can be a source of strength or a weakness if we don't know when, where, and how much to speak. Speaking kindly and wisely at the right moments can lead to success, but unkind words or speaking at the wrong times can make our lives difficult. Today, I will share a story about the importance of silence and how it has the power to change your life. The story begins. Once upon a time, in the serene depths of a quiet Indian forest, there lived a renowned Buddhist monk. His days were spent in profound meditation, and his nights were filled with the whispers of ancient wisdom. Far removed from the clamor of the outside world, his life was a testament to peace and enlightenment. One day, a king, burdened by an inner turmoil that wealth, fame, and luxury could not soothe, sought out the monk. Despite his grandeur and the lavish comforts surrounding him, the king felt a profound sense of unrest. He hoped the monk could offer him a path to peace that his riches could not provide. Upon meeting the monk, the king expressed his deep frustration. "Despite everything I have," he said, "I am troubled by a persistent sense of dissatisfaction and unease. I have everything that the world deems valuable, yet I feel empty inside. Can you help me find peace?" The monk, with a serene smile, replied, "You already hold the answer within you, but you have never discovered it. To uncover this truth, I propose a unique experiment. For the next 7 days, refrain from speaking even a single word. Embrace complete silence, both outwardly and inwardly. Observe your thoughts, emotions, and reactions without giving voice to them. At the end of these 7 days, we shall reconvene and discuss your experiences." Intrigued by this unconventional approach, the king agreed. He returned to his palace, where he announced his decision to everyone. He would observe a period of silence for the next week. The courtiers and attendants were puzzled but respected his wish. As the days unfolded, the king found himself grappling with his own thoughts and emotions. At first, the silence seemed deafening. The constant inner chatter that he had always drowned out with words became increasingly apparent. He noticed the fleeting thoughts, the persistent anxieties, and the subtle joys that had previously gone unnoticed. Without the ability to speak, the king had to confront his inner self directly. He found that the silence created space for self-reflection. He began to recognize patterns in his behavior, his emotional responses, and the sources of his discontent. The silence revealed truths that had been obscured by the constant noise of his life. By the 7th day, the king felt a shift within him. The inner unrest had transformed into a deeper understanding of himself. He realized that his quest for peace was not about acquiring more external possessions, but about finding harmony within. The silence had provided him with the clarity he needed to see beyond the superficial aspects of his existence. When the king returned to the monk, he was filled with a newfound tranquility. He shared his experience. "The silence has been enlightening. I have discovered that true peace comes from within. It is not something that can be bought or achieved through external means. It is a state of mind that I can cultivate by being aware of my own inner landscape." The monk nodded approvingly. "You have understood the essence of the experiment. True wisdom and peace lie in self-awareness and acceptance. By silencing the external noise, you have allowed yourself to listen to the deeper voice within." The king left the monk's presence with a heart full of gratitude and a mind brimming with clarity. He continued to rule his kingdom with a renewed sense of purpose and serenity, knowing that the true treasure was not in his material possessions, but in the inner peace he had discovered. The king's journey begins. The king, though initially hesitant, was deeply intrigued by the monk's challenge. With a mix of apprehension and curiosity, he returned to his grand palace, determined to embrace the 7-day period of silence. This was a stark contrast to his usual life, where conversations, commands, and negotiations were a constant part of his daily routine. As the first day unfolded, the king was struck by the enormity of his task. He was accustomed to a life filled with the constant hum of activity and the ceaseless exchange of words. Now he faced an inner landscape that was startlingly noisy. The silence, which he had anticipated to be peaceful, instead felt overwhelming. His mind was a whirlwind of thoughts, anxieties, and fleeting ideas. The palace, which was once bustling with activity and chatter, seemed eerily quiet to the king. The absence of spoken words amplified the sounds he had previously ignored. The rustling of leaves outside, the distant hum of the palace's grand fountains, and the gentle whispers of his own thoughts. This new awareness was disorienting and unsettling. Throughout the day, the king found himself wrestling with a torrent of questions and thoughts. He thought about his kingdom, his duties, and the various challenges he faced. His mind was incessantly busy, and he felt an almost desperate urge to speak, to share his thoughts, seek advice, or simply express his feelings. However, he stayed resolute, resisting the urge to break the silence. As the sun set and the palace quieted down for the night, the king's restlessness intensified. He lay in his bed surrounded by the stillness of the night and felt a gnawing sense of discomfort. Yet, as the hours passed, something began to shift within him. The silence, which had initially been a source of anxiety, started to reveal a different side. By the time the night deepened, the king began to experience a surprising and unexpected sense of calm. The inner turbulence that had plagued him throughout the day began to fade away. As he lay in the darkness, he felt a gentle, almost soothing tranquility enveloping him. This newfound serenity was a stark contrast to the restlessness he had felt earlier. The king reflected on this shift. Despite his initial discomfort, the silence seemed to be working its magic. It was as if the absence of external noise had given him a chance to connect with a deeper part of himself. The inner chaos that had dominated his thoughts was gradually giving way to a sense of peace. By the end of the first day, the king was beginning to understand the essence of the monk's challenge. The silence was not merely an absence of sound, but a space for self-discovery and reflection. The king realized that while the silence had been difficult to endure, it was also offering him an opportunity to explore his inner world in a way he had never done before. The rest of the week promised to be a journey of deeper self-exploration. The king was eager to see where this experiment would lead him, knowing that each day of silence would bring him closer to understanding himself and, ultimately, finding the peace he so desperately sought, discovering inner peace. As the days of silence stretched on, the king began to settle into his new routine. What had initially felt like an overwhelming challenge gradually became a sanctuary of tranquility. He spent his time in solitude, exploring the palace gardens and the serene surroundings of his home. The quiet offered him a chance to observe the natural world with a fresh perspective. Each day, the king immersed himself in the simple beauty of nature. He noticed the delicate petals of the flowers, the gentle sway of the plants in the breeze, and the vibrant dance of birds soaring through the sky. These elements of nature, which had once been mere background scenery in his life, now took on a new significance. The colors, sounds, and rhythms of the natural world began to resonate deeply with him. He felt a profound connection to the environment around him, something he had never experienced before. The king observed how the flowers opened and closed with the sun, how the leaves rustled softly, and how the birds chirped in harmony. He became attuned to the subtle changes in nature and found solace in these observations. The beauty of the world seemed more vivid, more alive, and more meaningful. This new appreciation for nature was not just about its external beauty, but also about the sense of peace and grounding it provided. As the days passed, the king's inner turmoil began to wane. The constant chatter of his mind, which had plagued him at the beginning of the silence, started to dissipate. The relentless stream of thoughts and anxieties that had once seemed so overwhelming now seemed to settle into a more manageable, calm flow. The king found himself less reactive and more centered, as if the silence had created a buffer between his emotions and his reactions. By the 10th day, the king noticed a significant change within himself. The restlessness and chaos that had once dominated his mind had gradually vanished. He felt lighter and more at ease, as if a heavy burden had been lifted. The silence had allowed him to sift through his thoughts and emotions, clearing out the clutter and making room for a more profound sense of inner calm. On the 12th day, something extraordinary happened. The king found himself slipping into a state of deep meditation almost effortlessly. His eyes gently closed, and he felt a wave of serene tranquility wash over him. This state of meditation was different from anything he had experienced before. It was not just a fleeting moment of peace, but a profound, enduring sense of stillness and contentment. In this deep state of meditation, the king experienced an inner peace that was both profound and transformative. It was as if he had tapped into a wellspring of calm that had been buried beneath layers of stress and distraction. This peace was not dependent on external circumstances, but was a deep-seated calm that arose from within. When the king finally emerged from this meditative state, he felt a renewed sense of clarity and purpose. He realized that the journey of silence had not only helped him find peace, but had also revealed the true essence of tranquility that lay within him all along. The experience had shown him that inner peace is not a distant goal to be achieved, but a natural state that can be uncovered through self-awareness and reflection. A profound realization. After a period of deep introspection and meditation spanning the last 3 days, the king approached the Buddhist monk with a sense of clarity and revelation. The tranquility of the past days had brought profound insights into his life and the sources of his discontent. Standing before the monk, the king began, "Respected monk, I have come to understand the root of my inner turmoil. My previous life, filled with constant talking and excessive engagement with people, led me to overlook the deeper issues troubling my mind. I now realize why my mind was so restless and troubled." The monk, with a gentle nod, encouraged the king to share his newfound understanding. The king took a deep breath, gathering his thoughts, and continued, "In my former life, I was incessantly engaged in conversations and interactions. I spoke too much and often directed my energy towards others in ways that were neither constructive nor beneficial. Much of my talking was not about sharing wisdom or building relationships, but was often consumed by negative judgments and criticisms of others." He paused, reflecting on his experiences, and then added, "This constant talking, coupled with my negative thinking, created a tremendous waste of energy. Instead of using my words and thoughts to uplift and inspire, they were often spent on trivial matters and unproductive concerns. I now see how this constant stream of negativity and chatter was draining my mental and emotional resources." The king's voice grew softer as he continued, "This excessive focus on talking and negative thinking not only disturbed my mind, but also interfered with my ability to perform my duties effectively. My decisions and actions were clouded by frustration and dissatisfaction. The continuous failures that followed only compounded my unhappiness, making me more prone to annoyance and anger." The monk listened attentively, his eyes reflecting a deep understanding. "Through this silence and meditation," the king said, "I have come to realize that my inner unrest was a direct result of how I was using my mind and words. By being overly vocal and negative, I created a chaotic mental environment that hindered my ability to act wisely and effectively." The king's realization was both humbling and enlightening. He understood that true peace and effectiveness did not come from external successes or possessions, but from cultivating a calm and focused mind. The silence had allowed him to see the detrimental effects of his previous behaviors and had given him the insight needed to change. As he concluded, the king expressed his gratitude. "Thank you, respected monk. The silence has provided me with the clarity I needed to understand my inner turmoil. I now know that my path to peace and effectiveness lies in controlling my speech and thoughts, directing my energy in a more positive and constructive manner." The monk smiled, pleased with the king's profound realization. "You have discovered an important truth," he said. "True inner peace and success come from within. and are nurtured by a mindful and intentional approach to how we use our words and thoughts. Continue to embrace this wisdom, and you will find that your life will reflect the serenity and effectiveness you seek. With this newfound understanding, the king left the monk with a heart full of hope and a mind clear of the turbulence that had once plagued him. He was ready to approach his responsibilities with renewed focus and a deeper sense of inner peace, knowing that the key to true happiness lay in the mindful management of his thoughts and speech. The monk's wisdom. The monk nodded and said, "Your struggle with excessive speech isn't unique. Many people around the world face the same issue. They talk too much without realizing the harm it can cause. Silence isn't just the absence of sound. It's a pathway to profound self-awareness. True self-discovery begins with the stillness of silence. Only in quiet reflection can we uncover the essence of our being." The king realized that by embracing silence, he could transform his life. He decided to practice regular periods of silence, setting aside time each day for contemplation and reflection. In the stillness of his inner sanctuary, he discovered a treasure far greater than any wealth or fame, the enduring peace that comes from knowing oneself. Practical advice. So, my friends, I suggest you spend at least 20 minutes alone in solitude every day. In a world that constantly demands our attention, dedicating time to silence can be transformative. This simple practice of spending time in silence can bring significant positive change to your life. It may seem challenging at first, but as you embrace the power of silence, you'll find a profound sense of inner peace and clarity. Your mind, often clouded by the constant chatter of daily life, begins to settle, revealing the stillness that has always been within you. But why is silence so powerful? Throughout history, many spiritual leaders, including Buddha, have emphasized the importance of silence. It is in the quiet moments that we connect with our true selves. The teachings of Zen Buddhism remind us that silence is not just about refraining from speaking. It's about observing, listening, and understanding the world around us without the need to react immediately. In silence, we learn to listen not just with our ears, but with our hearts. You may have noticed that people who talk too much are sometimes mocked by others, while those who speak less and stand by their words earn respect. In Buddhist teachings, speech is one of the key components of the Eightfold Path, emphasizing right speech that is truthful, kind, and beneficial. Those who speak less and with purpose often command greater respect because their words carry weight. When you speak less, you choose your words more carefully, ensuring that they align with your values and intentions. This mindful approach to communication fosters trust and respect among those around you. True intelligence lies in knowing when, where, and what to say. Silence is the foundation of this wisdom. It gives you the space to think, reflect, and understand the situation before responding. In Zen, there is a saying, "Do not speak unless it improves upon silence." This means that silence in its purest form is complete and perfect. When we choose to speak, our words should enhance that perfection, not diminish it. Those who develop this skill tend to succeed in various situations. A person who speaks less often becomes the center of attention and tends to succeed in various pursuits. In the teachings of Buddha, silence is often a path to enlightenment. The Buddha himself spent years in deep meditation, embracing silence as a means to understand the true nature of existence. In Zen stories, there are countless tales of monks who, through silence and meditation, reached profound realizations about life. Silence in this context is not emptiness, but fullness, full of insight, awareness, and connection to the present moment. Consider this. In a conversation, the person who listens more often understands more. By speaking less, you give yourself the opportunity to absorb and learn from the world around you. Silence also allows you to connect with others on a deeper level, as it creates space for empathy and understanding. In moments of silence, you can truly hear the thoughts and feelings of those around you, leading to more meaningful relationships. Embrace silence. When we observe the qualities of great individuals, one common trait stands out. They use few words, carefully considering what they say. This wisdom, rooted in silence, contributes significantly to their success, Such individuals understand that words have power, the power to build or destroy, to inspire or to hurt. They are mindful of this power and choose their words with great care. In doing so, they cultivate an aura of respect and authority. Their silence is not a void, but a space filled with thought, reflection, and intention. In contrast, there are many who talk excessively, often without considering the impact of their words. They may speak impulsively, resorting to dishonesty, exaggeration, or spreading negativity about others. This unchecked chatter can lead to misunderstandings, damaged relationships, and a loss of credibility. Words once spoken cannot be taken back, and the harm they cause can be lasting. Those who engage in constant talk often find themselves entangled in conflicts, as their words create ripples of discord and distrust. Ancient wisdom from various cultures emphasizes the importance of silence. In many traditions, the spoken word is seen as a reflection of one's inner state, beliefs, and values. For example, in Buddhism, right speech is one of the key components of the Noble Eightfold Path. It encourages us to speak truthfully, kindly, and with purpose, avoiding idle chatter and harmful speech. By practicing silence, we learn to become more patient and mindful. Silence allows us to pause, reflect, and choose our words carefully, ensuring they align with our true intentions. Being quiet helps us become more aware of our surroundings and the people we interact with. When we are silent, we become better listeners, more attuned to the needs and emotions of others. This heightened awareness fosters empathy and understanding, allowing us to build deeper and more meaningful relationships. Silence also helps us to observe and learn from the world around us. In the quiet moments, we notice details that might otherwise go unnoticed. The subtle expressions on someone's face, the tone of their voice, or the underlying emotions behind their words. Moreover, silence is a powerful tool for self-reflection. When we embrace silence, we create space for introspection, allowing us to delve deeper into our thoughts, feelings, and motivations. This process of self-exploration is crucial for personal growth and development. Through silence, we can gain insight into our own behavior, identify areas for improvement, and cultivate a greater sense of self-awareness. Meditation is a practice that harnesses the power of silence to help us understand ourselves better. In meditation, we silence the external noise and turn our focus inward, exploring the depths of our consciousness. This practice helps us to connect with our true selves, uncovering our inner truths and wisdom. It teaches us to be present in the moment, to let go of distractions, and to find peace within. As we meditate, we become more attuned to our inner world, gaining clarity and insight into our thoughts, emotions, and desires. In the fast-paced world we live in, silence is often seen as a weakness or a sign of uncertainty. But in reality, silence is a source of strength. It is a tool that allows us to navigate the complexities of life with grace and wisdom. By embracing silence, we learn to control our impulses, to think before we speak, and to act with intention. We become more grounded, more focused, and more resilient in the face of challenges. Great leaders and wise individuals throughout history have recognized the power of silence. They knew that silence is not merely the absence of sound, but a state of being, one that is full of potential and possibility. By choosing silence, they created a space for thoughtful consideration, allowing them to make better decisions and to lead with integrity. Their silence was a source of inner strength, a wellspring of wisdom that guided them through life's most difficult challenges. In our own lives, we can embrace silence by making it a regular practice. Start by setting aside time each day for quiet reflection. Whether it's through meditation, journaling, or simply sitting in stillness, these moments of silence can be transformative. Over time, you'll find that silence becomes a natural part of your day, a refuge where you can find clarity, peace, and strength. In social situations, try to listen more and speak less. Observe how this shift in behavior changes your interactions with others. You may find that people are more drawn to you, that they respect your opinions more, and that your relationships become deeper and more meaningful. By speaking less, you create space for others to share their thoughts and ideas, fostering a more balanced and respectful exchange of ideas. Remember, silence is not about withholding your thoughts or opinions. It's about choosing the right moment to speak and ensuring that when you do, your words carry meaning and purpose. Silence allows you to gather your thoughts, to connect with your inner wisdom, and to speak from a place of authenticity and integrity. In conclusion, embracing silence is a powerful way to cultivate inner peace, wisdom, and understanding. It allows us to connect more deeply with ourselves and others, to speak with intention, and to navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience. By making silence a regular practice, we can transform our lives, building stronger relationships, making better decisions, and finding a greater sense of fulfillment and purpose. So, take a moment each day to embrace silence. Let it be a time of reflection, of listening, and of connection with your true self. In the stillness, you will find the answers you seek, the clarity you need, and the strength to face whatever comes your way. Conclusion. As we reach the end of this Zen journey, I want to thank you for joining us on this path of wisdom and reflection. The teachings of silence are timeless, offering us a way to find peace, clarity, and deeper connections in our lives. But this journey doesn't end here. It's a continuous process of learning, practicing, and growing. I invite you to become an integral part of our Serene Insights community. If you found inspiration in this story, please support our mission by hitting the like button and sharing this video with friends and family. Your comments are a vital part of our community, so feel free to leave your thoughts below or suggest any Zen stories or teachings you'd like to explore in the future. Together, we can create a space for mindfulness and inner peace. Bonus tip. To start incorporating the power of silence into your daily life, begin with just a few minutes each day. Find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed, and allow yourself to simply be. As you become more comfortable with the stillness, gradually increase the time you spend in silence. Use this time to reflect, meditate, and connect with your inner self. In these moments, you'll discover the profound benefits that silence can bring: clarity of mind, emotional balance, and a deeper sense of connection with the world around you. For more moments of motivation, inspiration, and tranquility, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and ring the notification bell. By doing so, you ensure that you'll never miss out on our latest insights and teachings. Your engagement fuels our journey and helps us continue to share the wisdom of Zen and Buddhism with the world. Thank you for walking this path of wisdom and enlightenment with us. Remember, the power of silence is always within your reach, waiting to guide you towards a life of peace and fulfillment.